Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Links with Friends. It is June 30th, 2026, and we're here with government and security stories for the start of your week. We swam here today
Yeah,
because
I
it
was going to
rained a lot.
say, I'm sure what you're thinking is June 30th. Well, that's like some of the peak days of summer. Why is Krista wearing a parka?
Because it rained a lot, okay? It's been raining.
Not indoors.
We found a really big moth. We came in here too. It's been a very exciting day in the office.
It's been a deluge outside and a deluge of ads,
Yeah,
which we will continue to suffer this week, but we'll get through it.
together.
And maybe we'll get through the AI apocalypse together with this, although this is something that Trump's team has complained about in the past, which is the government picking winners. They're picking. They should not be picking.
Trump administration announces 17.5 billion in loans for 10 new large nuclear reactors. And here I sit thinking, wow, only 17.5 billion for 10 new large nuclear reactors? Why haven't we had that the whole time?
Do you think that they'll just take that money and pocket it and then we'll never see any of those large nuclear reactors?
Yeah.
No, because this is not for us.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, so this data center. Yeah.
Right. No, we'll definitely get those. Now, those are the Westinghouse designs, the old ones.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing that again?
That doesn't make sense.
Because don't.
Like China already got some new designs online.
Yeah.
Can we just steal those designs? What's going on?
But we've got some too. I don't know if they're not functional yet. Remember the one that's reached criticality recently?
Yeah.
Like, let's put some money into that. That seems.
Doesn't DARPA have some small portable reactors that are meant to be buried? It's like, oh, we'll deal with this by just burying it, and it just self-contained makes a small amount of electricity for 30 years. That's also not an unreasonable design.
And the White House still wants control of the AI, and they're probably going to get it in a weird way, not like an actual government control thing, but whatever this mid step is that we've already seen with Anthropic.
Trump administration asks OpenAI to stagger release of new model. The information is reporting because this is the paywall alternative. So this is the alternative to rolling out, something like Mythos or Fable all at once, I suppose. Also, Anthropic, this article should have mentioned it because it stopped short of, blaming China for all our problems. But Anthropic also said that China used, like 38,000 accounts to try to distill against the model.
Which was apparently successful in the past, which, I mean, if you really wanted to move the state of the art of AI forward for the people, isn't that doing it?
That would be doing it, yeah. And it's not like they're not paying for access either. So it's kind of like,
Well, you know who is paying for access as well? ICE. They're paying for all of their access because legally they're not required to grab it. But they have nice subscriptions like, your IRS information and your license plate. And also that subscription to Celebrite. That's still going strong.
Public records show FBI secretly extracted data from ICE protesters' phones. So a lot of ICE protesters were arrested, but 12 of the 13 of them had the charges against them dropped. However, the FBI made a copy of the contents of their phone using this, and there are memos that were leaked that instructed law enforcement not to tell protesters that their phones were with the FBI. Why might they do that? Well, it turns out that if you have a law enforcement agency that is going to scan everything on your phone, you can challenge that. Theoretically, you're supposed to be told about that. They didn't do that here. A lot of law breaking, a lot of lawlessness here. It's weird because nothing is going to happen to anybody that ran roughshod over all of these individuals' rights because it's a very us versus them mentality. And it's like, oh, these protesters don't have any rights because they would dare question something.
And these were misdemeanors. So misdemeanor generally not going to rise to the level of dumping your phone. That would be an investigation where you're looking for like a conspiracy or some evidence. And the evidence was they were laying down in front of a truck. Like it was an open and shut misdemeanor case. They did not need further investigation, but they did. And they found some evidence, they claim, of conspiracy. And they charged one person, right?
1 out of 13. Yeah. So it's going to be another sandwich incident. It's like, yeah, all right, jury trial. Let's go.
I mean, you still have to sit and I guess not for misdemeanor, right? Like you bond out of that for a couple $100. Yeah. So take your jury trial on that one for sure. And we have the AI battleground continues to be heated and there's a lot of blood on both sides. And there are opportunists who recognize how much vitriol the people have and how politically convenient that is for them but I don't think there's much hope for this one.
Ocasio-Cortez and Sanders introduced the AI Data Center Moratorium Act. There's very specific things that they have in there, like more than 20 megawatts or more than 20 kilowatts per rack. 20 kilowatts per rack is not really that much anymore. Like I know some non-AI data centers that have 25 kilowatts per rack. That's not insane. I'm kind of disappointed in this because it seems like it's going to be way more performative than anything that could possibly be interesting and or useful. I kind of like what China's doing, where they're telling companies, it's like, okay, if you're going to lay off 60,000 people with AI, because of AI, you need to find something else for them to do. It's like, that's a different way to approach the same problem. Why are we doing it this way and not that way?
Well, it won't be anything because it has to get through a committee, which is going to be lobbied. It's going to have to get through the House, which is going to be lobbied, and it has to get through the Senate, which has to be lobbied. And it's not going to get the supermajority to get through the veto, which we know where Trump's going to take that one, right?
If we are concerned about joblessness and people not being able to live and all this kind of thing, why would we spend calories doing this instead of putting it towards some real solution?
Performance, perception management. That's what government is.
There's one of our other videos. I can't do it because it's, it would require editing. But one of our other videos, I did a setup like that, and it's like sometimes reasonable people have to do unreasonable things, and it was one frame of the killdozer.
And we've learned that the answer to all of our security troubles online is simply tracking. You must be identified, you must be verified, and you must be tracked at all times. But now we're getting into the world where not just humans can cast votes and buy things and do things on the internet. So what does that require? Well, it requires more tracking.
Bill that would mandate AI chip location tracking gains industry support. Spoiler alert, the NBC News article missed the fact that Intel Xeon CPUs have had this for a long time. Many years. There's an RFID chip on a lot of higher end CPUs. It has been for a long time. But this also talks about, it's like, oh, the industry supports this. It's like, yeah, because they've already been doing it.
Wall Street Journal is going to give us a whole 200 pixels for our headline.
That's a good guesstimate too. 200 pixels.
Just how much we need. It's perfect. And we have the problem of, those protesters, right? You put them in prison, and that becomes a bit of a cycle, right? You get out, you owe money, you can't pay the money, nobody will hire you. You go back in for not paying the money, and that rotates. How can we fix that? Well, it seems obvious, but we need the robots to help.
States are betting that AI can solve the prison recidivism crisis. And the Wall Street Journal has a very, very long article to say that basically the ankle monitors of the future will monitor everything that you do and report to your parole officer if you're doing anything antisocial.
Which, how does that solve going back? Seems like that cycles you again. So the big thing here is what's the problem? Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, the problem is the jails and prisons are not sharing data. And so it takes a while for things to catch up with you. And we don't have a holistic approach. So if we just track everything that you do after you get arrested with AI, then we can more properly put you in, conditioning and re-education.
That sounds like a way worse version of losing your right to vote because you're a felon.
We should really just, expand that out to all citizens and make sure they never do anything that we don't agree with ever.
Does the punishment fit the crime? I mean, you could argue that that it no longer fits because that's insane.
And we have a new opposition. Now, is this going to be the Occupy Wall Street of the AI generation? Maybe, but they're trying, I guess.
A tech worker-backed political action committee is bringing a $5 million knife to big tech's $100 million gunfight. Love the headline, TechCrunch. This is very clever because the tech workers were only able to raise $5 million, which is not enough to outbuy the $100 million that companies are already spending, which is what they mean with that headline.
Well, do you think that I think TechCrunch is writing that headline? I mean, they're probably right, but also they want access to big tech, so they're not going to talk against big tech either.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
TechCrunch is for sure. Maybe not the individual writers, but
right.
They're
like, let's put a pithy headline here to make it seem like these guys have no case.
I'm sure most headlines go through Quantico.
Yeah.
For TechCrunch. And we have another congressional bill, and this one is also about AI.
Tech companies would have to pay AI data center energy costs under bill moving in Congress. This seems obvious. Like, why would this ever not be the case? Why would it ever be the case that communities have to subsidize the cost of energy? And yet,
They had a name in here. Oh, large load, the large load standard, which I'm sure that no one will have any juvenile comments about. But that means that if you have enough electricity that you're adding for your data center to do like what they're doing in Texas, where it's just like upsetting the whole thing, then you also have to pay for the infrastructure for the grid to handle that large load.
chat, I saw a proposal, hopefully it'll make it to the news one of these weeks, that was a really clever solution for this problem. And that was the companies that are responsible for the top 60% of the load on the grid have to pay for the electricity, like as if they are covering 75% of the load. And so that will lower the cost for the companies at the lower end of that. That seems like a clever way that solves the problem with just math. What's the downside?
And this is a midterm election year, so it's time to revisit the same series of articles we've been reading every 2 years since 2000, at least. So here we go. Here's the headline. You're going to see it over and over.
The White House delays the release of U.S. voting machine study as midterms near.
Now, the reason they're not releasing it is probably because they said they couldn't find any evidence of actual vote stealing. But they did find what we've known all along, which they were like, these voting machines have not had a software update. No one has updated the software in these voting machines. Listen, we could just do that right now. Let's do that right now. And everybody's like, come on, it's an election year.
So, are you crazy?
That seems problematic because probably like Llama 3 1 billion could just hack its way right in there.
The DEF CON does it every year. That's the other headline we see every year. Every year DEF CON hacks voting machines, and then we're just like, oh, no, they're secure.
Well, it's just your free space on your bingo card. DEF CON hacked it.
I mean, at this point, DEF CON's just showing off. It's like, look, here's a game of Pac-Man. It's like, how did you do that? It's like, I voted for the wrong candidate, and now there's Pac-Man.
And alongside the AI battleground for the plebs versus the 1%, we also have the flock battleground, which is the plebs versus the 1% and the people in charge, the political class. Well, I guess the AI is that too. And sometimes you win. Sometimes the plebs get a little tiny win and they, kick them in the nose. Doesn't stop them, but it slows them down. What happens when you get your win?
Cleveland City Council revives a flock contract despite the initial no vote, a 3-1 no vote, I might add. Prosecutor and judge are now pushing for it. It's like, oh, we're gonna re-vote on that at another different meeting. We're just gonna keep voting on it over and over again.
Yeah, until some of the people who said no can't make it.
And they are assuring us that the safety of the city is critically dependent on these flock cameras.
I love the story last week that we had about the flock cameras where it's like, cops are in trouble for using it to stalk ex-girlfriends, because it's like, we've got video of city council meetings where they're like, no, the flock cameras can't be used for stalking. And it's like, well, then what are these cops doing stalking ex-girlfriends? Like, that was the word that was used in the lawsuit against them.
The crazy thing is, it wasn't just the ex-girlfriends, it was their whole family.
Yeah, that was the weird. Like, can you imagine like just being the cousin to someone like that? It's like the cops were stalking me because they dated once 6 months ago.
I mean, if your elected politician is already that level of dishonest, something has gone catastrophically wrong somewhere. And where's the one frame again? We need the one frame.
Now, the eagle-eyed among you might be furiously typing in the comments once you see this page, and you're going to say, it's April 16th, it's old. Yes, it is old. But there is a new element, which is the body cam has been released. And you can actually watch this happen now if you go and search for it.
Oklahoma farmer arrested and jailed for trespassing during AI data center town hall. Removed by officers after going a few seconds over allotted speaking time trying to hand paperwork to counselors.
This is the rage story of the week.
Again, sometimes reasonable people really need to do some unreasonable things.
So we went 30 seconds over his allotted time. They tried to
was
call
it even that? I thought it was like 5 seconds, not 30.
I think it was more. It was more like 30 than 5.
Yeah, but still a small amount of time.
But even that,
yeah,
I mean, 30 seconds. And so they were kind of like shouting him down as he was going. And so during his presentation, he had some paperwork and he was like, look, I have evidence here. I have proof. Let me show it to you. And him walking up to hand it to one of the people is what they're saying it was the like aggression.
Threatening, yeah.
So they had to.
They might have gotten a paper cut.
Put him in the bracelet.
That guy demands a jury trial.
Well, I mean, He's already out. So I think the case is pending or might have been dismissed.
Yeah, you still have the trespassing thing, but it's like, no. It's like,
And the UK is, I mean, I guess just do it all, right? Once we've angered the people with the whole identity thing, we might as well get everything we want while we're at it.
the Reuters headline is UK considers forcing social media firms to prioritize trusted news. And if you don't think that something like this can be insanely dysfunctional, you should Google what Ofcom is doing to various websites, including ones that are like 4chan, where it's like, okay, we have geo-blocked all the UK IP addresses, and Ofcom, which is, you know, the UK body for stuff, is using VPNs to go around the geo blocker, and then they say, "Oh, the site's still accessible." And it's like, no.
Well, not for long. Yeah. So trusted by who? You know, that's the question nobody's like telling us. Like, who trusted this? Is BBC, Channel 4, and I something? I don't know all the.
ITV maybe.
Is it ITV?
Yeah.
I mean, trusted by MI6 because they're there. Yeah, I'm sure that would be a truth.
It's also like, have you seen the stuff that has come out of the UK in terms of like some of the crime, and then like there are like the police say something, and then the body cam footage comes out, and it wildly contradicts what the police said.
Well, I mean, we just showed that happens here too.
Yeah.
That's pretty much global. I don't know if we can kick the UK people any more than we are.
No, I'm not kicking that. I'm saying that we need to band together in solidarity because.
Well,
oh no!
We need to dump the tea in the harbor. What?
the camera just crapped out.
Yeah, just for a second. It must be the HDMI cable.
Or
maybe our real selves showed on the camera for a split second, and we
it's the
just
wrong think filter.
oh.
We're getting too close to the nerve. And yes, those Ofcom people will not be accessing 4chan perhaps after July because an ominous threat has been made. No details yet, but a date has been given.
Many people want to use VPNs for privacy, and that is important. But we know that some children use them to get around restrictions. The UK government is considering a VPN ban.
We got to start printing the green text and putting them in the public libraries.
Well, you know, I mean, don't you have to have a license to drive a car? And we know that some children drive cars. We should ban all cars.
So they said they're going to look into it and they're going to come back in July and tell us what they've decided.
Which is to ban VPNs. I can already say
it. I'm not going to be waiting with any bated breath there, right? You know.
So, do we need to insert an old clip of Carson here where he's like holding up the envelope? Is that Carson?
Yeah, Kreskin.
Yeah.
And those British police, when they are not posting on 4chan, are doing a little pre-crime work. And we now have some Freedom of Information documents about that.
British police built a sprawling crime prediction machine. Wired's headline says some results couldn't be trusted. The reality was that this was an hallucination machine for crime, and the police were more than happy to just keep on going.
One guy, who's this fella right here, he done some crime in his life. You know, he's not telling us he didn't do that. He did. But he was like, I recognize some of the patterns here of when the police are on you. And I had a feeling I was on this list. And he tried and tried and tried it. He could not get them to tell him whether or not he was on the list. They wouldn't. He eventually got some kind of Freedom of Information thing. And all they would say is yes and give no other details about what was going on there.
Do you think the UK police would feel better about it if they did the ankle monitor with the AI as described in the New York Times article?
No, I think they would like both, but they're never going to be satisfied. Right? I mean, it never ends. You can never get, because it doesn't work, right? Like you're trying to solve a problem with something that won't solve the problem. And so you're never going to be satisfied with the next step, which is this.
London cops bring live facial recognition to the West End. And this article, in a kind of oblique way, says that it may have erred 174 times, but one of those times stopped a child predator, so maybe it's okay.
Which is interesting because in the reverse, they've allowed child predators to continue predatoring to hide their technology that they were using to spy on the child predators. So if you apply that logic in both directions, it doesn't quite work, does it?
Isn't Prince Andrew still a thing? Like, shouldn't they? Let's focus on that problem first.
Oh, yeah, at the top level. Like, Ryan's not even talking about the top level when he's talking about that. He's talking about the people that were caught were let go because they didn't want to give away the technology that they were using to surveil them.
The other interesting thing about that statement is that this is one of the richer areas of London, apparently. And a lot of people are like, hey guys, shouldn't you put this in the criminal scum district? Like, why are you putting it here? We have money.
Which, way to not have any solidarity with your fellow citizen. To just be like, oh, this should be in the poor area. Like,
Well, that's the thing, right? The class war
Yeah.
prevents any sort of congealing against the top. And Palantir is in the National Health Service over there in the UK, and they were doing all kinds of cool stuff and helping them out. And then somebody actually ran the numbers.
UK government reviews its $330 million Palantir NHS contract after health service retracts proof of impact. So they issued a report that helped Palantir that said, oh, we should get the claims right, exactly right, because it was absurd. It was like 115,000 surgeries were done or like freed up in schedules or...
enough way to keyboard, we can control F, but...
Was there like a bullet list?
It was two main things. And it turns out both of those things were made up. They were just completely made up.
We didn't think anybody would check.
yeah, I was just like, oh, this just sounded good. This is a sound bite. Try 115.
What was the claim? What was the keyword claim? Because that would probably be easier than trying to guess the number. Chat,
I tried surgery.
Yeah.
Put in the comments below what search term we should use to try to find it.
Oh, here we go. It's right in the first paragraph.
Oh,
15% reduction in discharge delays and 110,000.
110,000.
Extra
operations. Yeah, and it's like, can you back this up? And they're like, no.
Oops.
Yeah, it's like Palantir can look really good when you just make crap up. That's amazing. But anyway, this is under review, but that's a lot of words to say that's going to go through anyway. It doesn't matter.
Oh, we got an ad that's got music. Sorry.
Yeah, you can just
mute site.
Sorry about that.
And
sorry for stopping your tunes if you were dancing.
all this unruly resistance to the AI overlords and the panopticon, something has to be done about that because it's increasing, right? Like you can't let that happen. What's the solution? Well, this is the solution.
European Parliament backs a long-awaited digital euro to reduce the U.S. dominance in payments. This is really targeted at Visa and MasterCard, but they're going to handle and settle transactions directly in euro. But the banks are going to do the clearing as opposed to...
The central bank.
Yeah.
This is central bank digital currency. They don't call it that anymore because that got a really bad reputation for obvious reasons.
Digital euro, also bad.
This is what this is. The European Central Bank is what is actually going to control this. So that's what that is. And, if you get caught protesting when this happens, they can just turn off your money. Trump has fought against that, but put it in private hands, and we know the private hands are evil. So I don't know if there's
There's just evil hands on both sides.
I don't know if there's a way out of that, but China's already done it. Russia's already done it. So it's coming globally. And it seems like this might be coming globally as well.
Norway imposes a near ban on AI in elementary school.
So they're saying teachers can't use it, kids can't use it, no LLMs in the lower grades at all.
That makes sense.
Yes, I think that's fair. They got to get their critical, foundational blocks before they can have access to that.
I don't mind, blocking children using devices or even creation of devices that are, like an e-ink, a really simple e-ink display that's very limited use so that we can, calibrate their brains before
Releasing them onto the internet to soak it all up.
Yeah, the dopamine thing is too dangerous.
And when it comes to all this surveillance, I mean, UK is going hard, and we've been doing it for a long time. All the Five Eyes countries, but one in particular is really going hard right now. They're looking for this to be the summer of surveillance.
Canada is forging ahead with its dangerous surveillance bill.
I want to go back to hot girl summer. Brat summer. Where's brat summer? I don't
Monitored girl summer.
Not surveillance summer.
So this has all the hits. It's got metadata tracking. It's got forced backdoor, and it's got breaking encryption on purpose.
Yeah, the whole idea of end-to-end encryption is like, we need lawful access. And it's like, that's fundamentally a flawed argument.
And we've seen this one before. If you're a big tech company and you operate globally and one country's mad at the other, whose laws do you follow? Because you have, laws that compete against one another. And it seems here that you do it with the one that has more money.
The Kremlin demands an explanation from Apple because a lot of vContact owned applications have disappeared from the Apple App Store.
Apple said, sanctions, bro. What do you want us to do?
I thought they hadn't even responded at all.
No, they mentioned sanctions. They were like, look, we operate within the law. We're in America and you're sanctioned.
Took them a little while, didn't it? Ooh, yeah, this one was rough.
Yeah, well, but it wasn't quite as bad as it could have been. It seems terrifying. They didn't get your passwords, all right? So unclench a little bit. They didn't get your passwords.
LastPass confirms data breach in Klue supply chain attack. There were some support tickets that they got that may have had some sensitive info.
Which also had like name and address, not your payment info. But here you go. Yeah. I mean, that phone number. Are you going to get more Myanmar calls?
Woo.
And if you discussed anything with support and gave them information, then you can sweat. And Microsoft is warning us about a new one that is, if you have some basic security, situational awareness, probably not going to get you, but it will get a lot of people.
Microsoft discovers new lightweight backdoor that steals cryptocurrency.
It's got to be USB. Unknown USB shows up and you're like, what could this be? That's a bad idea.
It's kind of sophisticated, though, in terms of how it exfiltrates.
Yeah, uses Tor. I'm sure they'll make some money. Oh my gosh.
That ad is over 50% of the screen.
And every country has their own emergency alert system. And sometimes you're allowed to turn it off, sometimes you're not, which is interesting. I don't know what it's like in Brazil, but their version was hacked.
Hackers suspected to be behind unauthorized alerts sent to cell phones all across Brazil.
So this was the highest level of alert. This was like the nuclear bomb alert. Like you have
Take
to look
cover
at this.
now. Yeah.
That was one word, and it was Portuguese for misanthropy, which I suppose they were talking about the Brazilian government hating humanity, or I don't know what the message was exactly, but it was sent to everybody.
Was it the message itself? So here is an example of this. I don't know.
So they've turned this off, and they've turned off all the other alert systems along with it. So there's no alert system of the writing of this article.
I'll say, wasn't there a major earthquake down in South America?
That was Venezuela, right?
Yeah.
I think turning it off entirely suggests that they realize that it is so thoroughly compromised that they better not turn it back on until they're sure.
Or in such a state that they can't guarantee anything.
It's very interesting.
We've been ignoring this for several decades. Oh, look.
Oh, we kind of need emergency alerts. Those are important. We need to inform the public when something bad happens.
This is still just the dawn of the computing age where we're still not very good at building secure things.
The aliens will never talk to us at this rate. That's the last story. That was it.
Yeah, it'll be funny when it's like, oh, we've been inundated with, signals from the Intergalactic Federation the whole time. It just looks like random background noise because of the encryption. But the encryption is really simple. We should have just figured it out.
We don't have that. We don't have that kind of tech yet. Anyway, that's the end of the episode. Tell us your favorite texture in the comments below.
We got business news.
Texture.
Yeah, just like, what's your favorite texture?
Like touch or like a visual texture?
Touch.
Skinning thing. Okay.
Tell us your favorite texture. Bye.